Yo, yo, how you doing, guys? Hey, what's up, what's up? Oh, it's lights. Alright. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How are you? Hey, Tony, how you doing? Hola, hola. Hey, Bob. Hi, Deepti. Ale. Carlita. Uh, how's everything doing? I just, I just know because I have a little bird that sings things to me, and some of you have amazing traits today. Only bangers allow it today. Only bangers allow it today. So amazing. Yeah, Carla has an amazing trait. She has been killing it on Fridays. Uh, she has been killing it on Fridays. So congratulations. Hey, Diane. Deuce. Cisco with the songs. What's up? Alex. ¿Qué onda, Alex? Hey, Luke. Michael. It's a bit low. Let me. Now, what's up now? I mean, you know what? When when this setup actually work, I have not moved anything. It's just like you know I don't want to move anything because I'm not so good at this. I need my own IT guy, so I don't move anything. So now can you yeah mean indicator, right? Like yeah, he's killing it with with all of his improvements. So now better. Okay, yeah, thank you, Ale. Yeah, all right. Hey, Lauren. So okay, so well, today, today let's take a look to everything that we had today this morning, because on their community they took a Tesla trade, and that was an awesome trade. But that was based on the higher time frame. They had a solid thesis about it, and it worked at its own pace, because you will see that we're gonna take a look to both indices. Indices were actually kind of weak for the first hours of the market. So Tesla doing its thing, like you know, going crazy against all bets. So let's take a look to what we had today. So I want to show you this. I want to show you. Well, first I want to show you this. So this is a spy, and what I want to show you is this. I mean, we have this pre-market high with this huge candle, but in my opinion, that huge candle was kind of fake. I was actually looking for it on Webull, and on Webull, it's there's not a wick like this. So for me, the pre-market high was this key level 567.50, and it actually sounds like more obvious, right? Like 567.50. I know it's not a strike on SPY, but I mean, usually, you know, like most of the tickers are like 2.5 points every strike. So this 567.50 made more sense. So here we have this open here. We created here the 5 minute opening range. So I mean, you can see here this purple line here is the 5 minute opening range high. This dotted purple line is the 5 minute opening range low. But what happened here? I'm gonna draw this here. So what happened here? I mean, we failed to reclaim this pre-market high. So again, I know this 568 was the pre-market high if you take the very top of this candle, but this candle is not showing on Webull. So So what I did is I was just looking at this key level, this 567.50. So we failed to reclaim this level. Then we went from high of the day to low of the day. We had some sort of reaction here at the opening price. We dropped a little bit more, and here. This was the point where I was expecting a lot of weakness, but we didn't have that. We actually went all the way up to the top of the range. But here, I actually had. I mean, I'm making this for more dramatic. Probably it should be something like this. But I'm what I want you to see, or what I want you to notice, is how we had this candle touching this pre-market high, and then we had a lower high. So now we have a lower high. Now we have a lower high. And then we start looking at a lot of weakness. Look at these strong, strong candles to the downside. Then we have this candle with a huge wick to the upside. So here I was looking for this weakness. And so right now the market structure of this spy thing was making me think that this is going lower, and we had a lot of key levels for SPY today. So we had yesterday close that it was very close to this 565 key level. We had pre-market low. We had this 563.67. That's a strong key level on the daily chart, and then we had this 563.21 key level on the 15-minute chart. So we had a lot of key levels to the downside, and this weakness here, I mean, failing to reclaim pre-market high, failing to actually create new highs, made me my start starting thesis of weakness here. So what I was doing this morning, I was actually looking for the tickers that were trending on the same direction of the indices, and from there I was trying to identify what was the one with the relative weakness, and also with similar structure or similar key levels to the downside as the indices. All right. Okay, let me go to the chat. And anyone has a question about what we are saying? And it was the same thing for QQQ. Can you see here? I mean, I use a few circles here just for you to make it easy to identify how we were failing to create new highs. So that was my signal for looking for weakness here. Um, Gabriel, IWM. No, you know what? Well, maybe early last year, I was looking at IWM, but just because we don't have like good reference. I mean, I like to compare my ticker with the indices, and IWM doesn't have anything to do with SPY or QQQ. It moves completely different, so I just stopped looking at it. Deepti, how do you get Mina indicator? Well, Mina is there. Neto, I will check out the video of their live session. Oh my gosh, why? Um, I'm sorry, Lauren. Yeah, I'm making sure that we have the closed caption, the subtitles for the videos. So if you look at the recordings, all of them have them. I don't know what's going on with the live. Uh, Let me try to fix it, Lauren. Thank you for joining. Lauren, you know Lauren, she has been killing it. She's super disciplined. She's super patient with levels, and sometimes I mean I don't know how she does it, but because I'm getting nervous every time we hit like a strong key level. But she has a temple of iron, and she holds her positions and she goes for the levels. She has been killing it. Um, Monet, Deuce, how did you edit your dates on the AGFX indicator? I don't know. Ask, ask, ask Mina, please. Okay. All right. So so now we are looking for weakness here. So now we are looking for weakness here. I was waiting for the both indices to break low of the day, to break low of the day, and from there I was looking for some sort of pullbacks to this low of the day, or to these order blocks here, and then I will be looking for my position. So so here, this was the very first this was the very first play that I was looking this morning. I don't trade Apple anymore, but I like to I like to watch it, because I mean I know some of you guys are looking for Apple opportunities. So we had this low of the day, we had this downtrend, and what are we doing here? We are drawing our order block, where on a pivotal point. On Remember, we have been talking about this during this week, about any candle here, it's gonna be an order block. Well, not any candle, right? Not any candle, but here, this is more important, because it's a pivotal point, right? It's where price actually reverses here. So I like this low of the day, this order block here. So if you were looking for an opportunity here, we had this break. This is the thing, right? Like, this was a very small displacement here. However, again with the howevers. All right, this was a small displacement here, but we have this weakness here, and as you can see this is exactly where QQQ was rejecting pre-market low, and also this was previous day close, and it was kind of this a similar spot for SPY. I mean, it was below the previous day close, but look at the confluence here, right? So QQQ was rejecting this pre-market low, previous day close, right where we were looking for weakness here. So looking at these candles, so this is the first retest rejection. This is the second retest. We have this wick to the upside, and the body of this candle is actually below the order block, and then we have this small candle, but this small candle is actually now below the order block. So assuming that you open your position here, you can have your risk. Let's say this one. Let's say to this candle. All right. So this candle here is your stop, and you were aiming to 197.50. Yeah, 197.50. Well, we were close to get it, but anyways, right here at the very bottom of this movement, it was a 1 to 2.77 risk reward ratio trade. This was actually a very short trade, because we hit the target right here, like 5 minutes later. 5 minutes later, then we had this reversal here. And can you see, guys, why we were having this reversal here? Well, we actually filled the gap, the daily gap. But what was happening? What was happening with the indices? The indices actually hit all of the key levels that they were looking at: pre-market low, this 563.67 key level on the daily chart, this 563.21. This was a key level. This was a key level on the 15-minute chart. it was all the same things on QQQ. So here it was expected like, okay, well, this move is already done. It's already done. So if you had this push down, you should be looking at the indices, and right where they started changing of character, like it was like probably this candle here, this 1046 candle. Maybe here you were break even on the rest of your contracts, and you should be just looking to manage your position around here. I mean, in if I will take this trade, I will probably I wouldn't probably hold or held until here. So probably I will just held like here. I mean, a little bit above my entry point, because I will trim my position right here, right? So, anyways, this was a 1 to 2.77 risk reward ratio trade, or let's say that you didn't take it like to this, but I mean, anyway, it was a 1 to 2.5 or something like that. Or even if you drag your stop loss to the top of this last candle here, this was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade, and this was actually a nice trade. Why? Because it was on the context of how the indices were moving. So let me go to the chat. How did you know to mark that order block? Where? This one? This is low of the day, my friend. This is low of the day. So we are having a downtrend, and then we have an up closing candle. So for me, this is kind of a very important point. So I mean, maybe the order block should be like all these, but I mean, I'm just drawing like half of the body, so maybe this, uh, and the reason is because, I mean, can you see the price action on this previous candle? So I mean, maybe this, but this is just a reference, right? But because what you were looking at, it's at the border of the order block here, so that's what I was looking at. All right. This, why didn't you mark the green one on the downtrend? Uh, like this one? Can you tell me what time? Mm-mm-mm. Well, let's give it a second for, to produce. Not sure what the lowest green candle on Apple. This is the lowest green candle. I mean, at this moment, this was the lowest green candle. So here we had this break of this lowest green candle. This is the break of low of the day, and this is the displacement, and this is the retest. That's why this order block is right here. So after this, maybe we can just move this to here, and you can see, I mean, this was actually the next order block. This has been working here. It was resistance, then it was turned to support, resistance, and it cleared like here. Look, and this was a very nice point. And the reason this is a strong order block, it's because this 198.23, it has been a strong key level on the daily chart. Why not the 942? 942, because that's exactly what I was explaining just during the week. I mean, I don't like to draw order blocks just on a random uh, opposite candle on the downtrend. I like to use the order block where the price actually reacts. So this could be my order block here, but also this could be working because this is exactly where price changes directions, right? So this is like more important for me. But if you ask me on Discord, I will send you the videos from Jack. about order blocks. I think he explains way better than me about the order block because I mean we already have a lot of content about order blocks. Not worthy that I try to explain because it's way better explained on those videos. Neto, if you have a non-pivot order block and you have PA, price action, nice reaction from there, would you consider this based on price action or not? Well, again, Ale, it depends. I mean, if this is just a random opposite candle, probably not. But if I'm looking at price action on that level, I will go to look why is that reaction. I mean, why what's happening there? Probably if you zoom out and look left, you will see that that was a nice pivot days ago, or probably that was an all high on a daily chart. So I will be looking for what was happening at that point. But if I can't find anything relevant, I will just discard because I mean I'm not looking for any move on the chart, but I'm aware of the moves, right? Mm, ready relief productions. I learned to call those areas pointy areas. Yeah, that's a pointy area or a pivot area. Dian, Neto, for entering and exiting the trade, do you use only the intraday levels or key levels from the higher time frames also? Well, I do. I actually for exiting my trades, I use the external liquidity. So these white lines are the key levels on the 15-minute chart, and these blue lines are key levels on the daily chart. So yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm that answers your question, but yeah, I mean for exiting my trade, yes, I'm using higher time frame levels. All right, guys. So let's move to AMD here. So for AMD, I didn't look. I didn't like anything because again, AMD was moving a little bit like the indices, but however, but when it recovered here, I mean, yes, this was a lower low, a lower high here, uh, but when the indices broke down the low of the day, AMD wasn't dropping that hard. This was actually holding the ranges. So as you can see here, this held the previous day close, and it was very close to the pre-market low. And right here, I mean, oh, sorry. So right here, this was, let's say this one, 1026. 1026, it was the break to the downside aggressively on the indices. And here it was holding pre-market low. So that's why I discarded AMD on my watch list this morning. I was actually looking at AMD and Amazon very first in the morning because again, this move from market open to all the way to this touch on the previous day close, that as you can see, this 101.70, it's a key level on the daily chart. But when we came back here, this pullback was too aggressive for me, for I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't like it here. And then when the indices started to drop, this was holding this range. This was holding this range. So by this time here, maybe, yeah, so indices were at low of the day, but what we have here, AMD was actually at the middle of its range. So right here, right? So that's why I stopped looking at AMD today. And from there, I mean, I didn't like anything because it was just, like it was just wrenching here. So I didn't like anything here. No, someone took an AMD trade today. I don't think so, right? Ale, let me see. I took a loss on AMD 948 order block retest 948. 948. This is 948. You and me, we need to talk about your order blocks. Well, actually, yeah, well, actually, it worked well. It worked well. But look at the reaction on the next candles. I mean, you are not having good reaction here. And here, look, this is what I was trying to tell you. We are actually going up here when the indices are going lower. So this divergence here was what it made me. This is what it made me stop looking at AMD for puts, because here it actually recovered well. Here it actually recovered well, and for yeah, for me, Ale, this order block. I mean, I understand why you are drawing this as an order block, but I don't like it. I mean, I would like to use this one because this is where price is actually having reactions here. So because we have the bounce here, so this will be an order block that I consider. And well, here I mean, you can see it actually worked several times here. Um, but what I want to tell you is that, I mean, by definition, probably this is also an order block, but for me, or in my experience, let's say that in my experience, I wouldn't use that order block because it's right in the middle of nowhere, right? Like, I mean, there's no key level here. There's no price change of direction here. So for me, this was not a relevant key level. Despite later in the day, it actually worked well, like support resistance, right? But I mean, right here for this retest, for me, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't like it. And also, I mean, if you enter here 948, it's still inside of the order block. This is still inside of the order block. So I wouldn't take this until like you are out of this. You are having a candle closure out of this order block. So I think you just were, uh, how do you say, happy trigger, easy trigger. You were just excited to take this trade. Uh, so yeah, but you and me, we need to have a conversation about order blocks. All right. Okay. So that was all for me. I mean, for AMD, as I said, I mean, it created a range and it never broke that range. And also, right here, it changed how it was moving according to the indices. Yes, it had a nice reaction here, then and then a drop. But look at the drop on the indices here, and AMD was actually holding the key levels from the same day. So that's why I didn't like anything on AMD. And let me go to Amazon. And this was my trade. This was my trade. Let me, okay, that, yeah. Yeah, if you don't study about order blocks, you will be grounded for the week, okay? So, okay, so this was my trade on Amazon. So, again, what I was telling you early, that it created a high, and then indices came up here, failed to make a newer high. And what was happening here? Well, Amazon was actually looking weaker than the indices. Can you see here? I mean, it tried to hold this move to the upside with the indices. It couldn't. Now it was trying to recover here, but even when the indices were very close to high of the day, very close to the 5 minute opening range high. Amazon was actually on the middle of the 5 minute opening range. So what I was waiting for in Amazon, so I was actually waiting for the indices to actually make a new lower low. So we had here a lower high, then I was waiting for a lower low, and I was expecting that this drop on the indices uh, had this reaction on Amazon, that we broke the low of the day, 5 minute opening range low, this order block from high of the day, I'm sorry, from low of the day. uh, so I was waiting for all these. So when we had this pullback on the index, can you see here, guys? We had this pullback, mini pullback on the indices, mini pullback on the indices. This was my pullback for Amazon. So again, when I'm looking for puts, I'm not looking for like a nice, clean, and super textbook break and retest. I'm just looking for a lot of for weakness, right? So here I had several things. I had the 5 minute opening range low. I had this order block here on, and also it was low of the day. So this was a break and retest of low of the day, order block, and 5 minute opening range low. So here, plus the reactions on the indices right at low of the day when they broke low of the day, like here. How how I do a small line here? Maybe like this. Yeah, low of the day. Oh, low of the day here. Low of the day here. So we had this break and retest. This is immediate retest on the indices, but again, what I was looking at was for weakness on the indices. So I had this weakness here. It tried to reclaim this low of the day, but what happened on the next candle? We had this reaction to the downside. So I opened my position right here, right breaking this order block here. And here my risk was the top of this candle, that was the one that broke this 5 minute opening range low, because that was the level that I was looking at. But because if I was looking for the order block or the 5 minute opening range, maybe my risk will be like this, and instead of a 1 to 4 point something risk reward ratio trade, this was a 11 something risk reward ratio trade, right? But I mean, in complete transparency, my risk was this level here. So I took this here and I started taking profits right here on 192.50. That was the, I'm sorry, no, I'm lying. On this first candle, I took some low of the day, and then I took more on 192.50, and then I took more on this 190, yeah, this 192 right here, this 192. And then I closed my position. Well, almost everything on my position was here on this pre-market low, and then I closed my position right here on this candle. Uh, why I could wait more? Yes, but look what was happening on the indices. Let me show you. I already I was looking at the indices right here. I was looking at the indices right here, and you can see here we are having a change of character here. Yeah, we were having a change of character here on the indices. So I was looking for my context here. We already hit a lot of key levels here. 192.50, that was the strike. Previous day close right here on 192, 195.57, that was the pre-market low. So we hit a lot of key levels here. So by here, I only had like 10% of my position here, right? So right here, it was like a 150% trade here. So here it was like 115 or something. So I just closed my position. I just went to I mean I just closed my broker and all that stuff. So I was risk off right here. So this was my trade here. I'm not sure if we all are following this break, displacement and retest of low of the day, 5 minute opening range low, and order block here. Um, Let me go to the chat. Alex had same entry but closed it when it filled the gap. That's a, that's still a nice trade here. I mean here it's a 1 to 3 reward rated trade. That was awesome, Alex. I'm kind of liking, Alex, that you are taking my same entries and we don't even speak in the morning, right? So I'm liking that you are kind of getting my style. Mr. Mobile, did you get in before that 22 red candle close? Yeah, actually, when we had this, let me show you what was happening on this. On this 1022, right when we crossed this order block low of the day, I opened my position here, like 192.90 something. Let's say 90. Let's say 90. But it, it it was right when it broke the order block. I entered here. So 192.95. Let's say. Uh, this was the candle, and why? Because I was looking at the indices, and when it started to show weakness, that's when I started to enter my position here. And I didn't take too many contracts. I think I took like 100 contracts, and they were cheap. I mean, don't think that they were like $2 or $4. They were like, I think they were like 60 something cents. But if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna tell you because I actually shared that. Yeah, they were 70 cents, 70 cents for the contract. So yeah, this was a $7,000 position. So I really this trade was really nice. Okay, so anyone have any questions about this trade? 70 cents, yeah, 70 cents the end. Um, I really like this trade because I was actually waiting very patient trying to identify the trend or direction on the indices because uh, I was looking at Tesla. Tesla was reaping heavily and aggressively, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, I already missed Tesla, so I'm not getting any FOMO or something because I never had an entry model on Tesla just because I mean it actually moved all the way opposite to the indices. So I wasn't looking I even wasn't looking to Tesla. So what I did is just waited very patiently for the indices to show me a direction. And when they broke low of the day, I say, okay, well, this is my chance for looking for the weakest. And the one with the relative weakness was Amazon because I told you I was looking also to AMD because it looked weak at the open, but then it started to show some support at the key levels, at the intraday key levels. So it never I'm sorry, it never dropped like the indices or Amazon. So I just decided for Amazon because once I once I was looking at the trend and direction of the indices, Amazon was the one with the relative weakness. Okay. Hyperspeed, big lesson in here. Instead of FOMOing, you kept your eyes open for other opportunities. Yeah, the thing hyperspeed is I don't like I don't like to take a trade on the first 10 15 minutes because my style and this is what the other coaches like about this community. We all trade the same strategy, the break and retest, but this playbook or this how I trade, it's my personal touch. It's aligned with my personality, with my risk tolerance, with my skills. Because I mean, I don't have hotkeys. I have a an Apple keyboard and my mouse. So I mean, I don't trade with hotkeys. So I use usually I do my orders on the order entry widget on Webull. So this is very much the best thing that I can do with my skill set, with my personality, with my risk tolerance, with with the things that I like. Because I mean, for example, just as I said, I don't trade Apple. Why? Because I don't trust Apple. That's a market trauma I have. But I don't trade Apple, and I like Tesla, but only if it's aligned to the indices. Because that's a tweak of mine. I like to take trades on the same direction of the general trend of the overall market trend. So I don't fight the trend. That's my style. So like today, I mean, people who took Tesla trade, that was amazing. That was an amazing trade, but it's not aligned to my playbook. So I don't feel anything about trades that are out of my playbook. It's just I don't know. I mean, it's take it as a lesson. I mean, if it's not inside of your playbook, it doesn't matter. It goes to 300% to 500%. It's out of your playbook. I mean, if you enter on that trade, will you know where to cut it if it goes against you? Will you know where to start trimming because you know the levels or because I mean, if it's out of your playbook, there's a lot of things that can go south and wrong or and against you. So I mean, I just want to play with the probabilities, and probabilities are already telling me that my playbook is working. So I just use my playbook for playing. All right. So yeah. So Dian, what do you prefer more on Friday, trading the zero DT or next Friday contract? Um, I usually trade same day expiration because I'm not staying for hours on the trade. So I mean, because usually my trades are like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I use same day expiration, but on Friday I am I mean I'm only looking for A plus setups gold plated place. I mean, I'm super selective on Fridays uh, because they are same day expiration. So you don't want to stay on a trade if it's not working. So usually I trade lighter, and again I'm super selective on Fridays because I only play once. So I don't take several trades on Friday. It's just one and done. So it's kind of my silver bullet. So it's just one shot, and I try to make it work. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go to the next one. The next one is Nvidia. So this was later on the day after. You think Costco at the Vatican we still have? Hopefully, hopefully. Italians don't eat hot dogs, but yeah. All right. All right, guys. So here you can see this Nvidia play actually broke aggressively this flag or this wedge. Uh, at the very same time than the indices. Yeah, but it never, I mean, it never gave you an opportunity to take this, drop right here, right? Can you see it here, guys? And let me show you something about Nvidia. Uh, why is not here? 11668. Was it here? Ah, okay. Okay. So here, I mean, we had this key level here, but also we had this high of the day on Wednesday. It was 117.69. It's right here, 117.60. Well, 68. I have it here. So can you see here how this was actually failing to this level, 117.68? Uh, so I really like this, but here we didn't have like enough displacement retest for it. And also what was happening here on the indices, they were actually kind of reacting to the previous day, no, to the today's opening price. So I didn't like this one here. I was actually looking this here, but I didn't want to take this trade out of this key level, because this was weakness here. But I would like something like, okay, the break and retest of pre-market low, or previous day uh, previous day close, or something like that. I didn't like to take a trade out of 2 days ago highs. But can you see here how this price was crucial? And once it failed to hold this 117.68, it started dropping with the indices. So here we didn't have like a nice re-entry here until this 116.49. And this 116.49 was 116.49. What was it? Yeah, this 116.49 was the this pivot point here, this was a key level here, uh, that on the 15-minute chart is not here. And I don't want to draw it here. Well, that's it. This was the point where on the first drop from yesterday, it actually held here and it tried to recover. So this was kind of a nice this was a kind of a nice key level here, 116.50, 116.50. So what I was looking here is this break, displacement, and retest of this key level here. And what was happening again? This is all context. Today was all context, guys, and not today. I mean, I like to say this. But I mean, if you trade in context with the indices, everything is gonna be easier. I promise, guys. I know it's overwhelming to start looking at too many charts, too many key levels, prepared levels for every name here. But when you trade with context, everything it's way easier. So here we have this break, displacement, and retest of this 116.49. And I want you to see where is this key level coming from. I mean, it's not a random level. It's a key level where the drop from yesterday actually held and bounced. Okay, held and bounced. And as you can see, it was also a strong key level for the post market from Wednesday. So this 116.49 or this 116.50 was a strong key level here. So once you had this retest here, what was happening on the indices? QQQ, break and retest of previous day close. And SPY, well, SPY was in the middle of nothing. But I mean, you can see this retest here. It's exactly at the same point than Nvidia. So after this drop, and with this pullback, you were just looking for weakness on anywhere here. And in context with the indices, this was a nice trade. So let's say you take your trade here on this down closing candle right below the body of the first retesting candle here, and your risk was at the key level. Let's say at the key level, a little bit above the key level here, and you were aiming for low of the day, right? Low of the day, or even this key level. This look, this is why I love this tool from Mina, because it makes me it makes everything easy. So this previous week high, that was a relevant key level on the daily chart, right? So if you were aiming to this previous day low, it was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. If you were aiming to the low of the day, it was a 1 to 2.2 risk reward ratio trade. But if you were aiming to the previous week high, and this is external liquidity, guys. So this is external liquidity because it's a key level on the daily chart. Well, this was a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade. And when will you close your trade? Maybe on this candle here. Once it starts to change of character, it reclaims previous day low. And right here, what was happening with the indices? They were reversing. They were reclaiming previous pre-market low on SPY. It was reclaiming this order block from the low of the day on QQQ. So again, everything, your entry and your exits should be on a context with the indices. All right. Kay, what do you think of this trade on Nvidia? I took calls. Nvidia. I took calls on the retest of previous day low. Entered halfway in the 1056. 1056. This one. I I don't like. I mean, it worked. It worked, okay, but I don't like to take the previous day low or pre-market low as a step for going long, or the rejection of the top of the ranges as the step for going short. But I mean, I I really like it. I really like it because as you can see here, this 1056, what was happening on the indices? They were, well, SPY was actually bouncing off the 563.67. That's a key level on the daily chart, and QQQ was actually bouncing off that 487. That's a key level on the 15-minute chart. In my opinion, after taking all the external liquidity to the downside with indices, they were kind of expected to, to start grinding up here. So here, that was a nice trade. I mean, that was a super nice trade. I mean, if you had it, if you had it on context, or why you took this one, just because the price action here. Because let me tell you something. I want to show you something. This still was a lower high. Can you see here, Kay? This was still a lower high. So yes, I mean, we had a nice reaction here of the previous day low, but I mean, you were lucky the indices were showing strength here, but here this is an actual lower high. So if you were following market structure, this was supposed to go lower, right? Again, just because the indices, I think all of both indices, they already swipe all of the objectives for the day going to the downside. Yeah, it started to reverse, but if you didn't have that on context, this was a lower high, my friend, and you should be expecting like a lower low. But you enter here on this 1056. Yeah, you said 1056. Yeah, 1056. So here it actually never broke this lower high, right? It's the next 3 4 candle, the one that it actually breaks, and look what happened here. It's rejecting this, right? So I don't know, I mean, it's nice that it worked, but if you were not looking at the price action on the indices, if you didn't have any context, I mean, I wouldn't understand why you took that one. All right. um, Okay, price action just look good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looked good. That this candle actually looks very good. But can you see? I mean, it never closes above this lower high. So that's why. I mean, yes, this looks good, but I mean, this also looks very good, right? So without any context, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't say that I will take this one. Uh, Dian, 115 is a strong level on the daily chart. Yeah, yeah, exactly. 115 has been a strong key level on the daily chart. Well, I have 114.42, but yes, this 115 area, that has been a strong key level for Nvidia on the past weeks and months. Um, Diana, it's Diana or Diana. So you took an entry for puts Nvidia 1017, 1017, 1017. Why? Sold on candle at 1028. Use the context with the QQQ like you have talked about. Thank you. Okay, let me see. All right, you said 1017. That's nice. That's nice. I mean, on Spy, we were breaking the opening price, and QQQ was kind of almost on the same point. But here, yeah, it was looking very weak. As I said, I mean, here it's super evident that we were failing to create new highs. So if you were looking for weakness on this area, this is the one that I like. Yeah, this below this 117.68, that was the high from Wednesday. Yeah, that's something that I like. That's something that I like. That very nice play, Diana. Um, did you already have that 116.49 level, or did you enter you once you were trying to find an entry? 116.49. No, this comes 116.49. No, this comes from yesterday. This is the 15-minute chart. This was the you told me what do you think, you should be drawing your key levels on this chart? Or do you agree on this 116.49? Because my reasoning behind this key level is that after this drop, this was the point where actually bounce, and look at the reaction here. I mean, look at this at the long wick here. So this point 116.49, but 116.50, for me it was a huge and strong level. So we had this reaction here, and later in the day, actually the body of this candle, the body of these candles, it's almost there. I mean, if I drag it here, it's 116.44. If I go here, 116.44, I mean, it's not doing too much here, 116.44. This actually makes it look better, right? 116.44. It's the break and retest. The wicks are, going inside this level. Bodies of these candles are below these key levels, or it's showing weakness here. That's why I added this 116.49, because I consider that this key level here, this key level here was a strong level, just because it held this huge drop from 118.84, almost 119. Well, actually, from 119 all the way to here, 116.50, it held, and that's why I just added that key level. Do you agree with that, hyperspeed? I mean, at least do you agree with that reasoning? All right. Um, okay, no more questions on the chat. So let's go to Tesla. All right. All right, guys. So here I had different theses. If you took a Tesla trade this morning, I would like to know from your reasoning and from your experience, because I only look at two different opportunities here. Let me show you here. So I had this 298.93. That's a key level. That's a key level on my daily chart. A lot of touches here on the daily chart. So as you can see, I mean it it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the indices here, because this run this run against the indices, or to the opposite side of the indices. But here, the only thing that I see here is this break and retest of this consolidation, right? This consolidation. But if you have this level here, this I'm sorry, this 299 or this 298.93, you can consider, and maybe you can consider this break and retest here, or maybe the break and retest of this 5 minute opening range. I mean, actually, this is the one that I watched first. So this is kind of the break and retest of the 5 minute opening range. You can actually have it like here or here after this second retest, next candle, looking here. But here, something that I don't like from this is that you are almost buying a high of the day. However, if you have if you have a higher time frame thesis like this, like going to 300 and going actually to 303.94, that was the next level on the daily chart. If you have this, I'm sorry. If you had this as your higher time frame thesis, if you had this as your higher time frame thesis, yeah, well, it doesn't matter that you are buying at high of the day, because you have low risk here, right? I mean, your risk will be the bottom of these down closing candle. So it doesn't matter too much where you took it here. Uh, but the target will be something like this, right? So if you took this, that will be amazing. If you took this, that will make more sense, but not still to the daily chart key level. So both of them. Oh, what's this? So both of them. The other one, where did we say? Here, right? So both of them were nice trades. This was 1 to 3.5. This was 1 to 2.9. Uh, so both of them were nice trades. But I want to read. I want to read from you guys. What was your entry here? Because I didn't see anything here. Tesla 941, 5 minute 941. Yeah, 941. Yeah, okay. 5 minute opening range. Yeah, this was a baby displacement here. But if you had the if you had the higher time frame thesis here, that was an amazing trade. Something like this, Ale. You were aiming to this 303.94. Uh, it momentarily looked like a full body bullish candle. I was afraid that candle will go too far if I waited for it. Okay. Yeah. So I think those are the two entry models here. So the second one on here on this break and retest of this 298.93, this is a clear retest. So this will be a nice one. And also because how they were closing these candles, so you maybe took it like here, right? Like this was a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade, and also this one also to the same level. So this first trade was 1 to 6.6. Yeah, both of them were amazing. Did you any of you did you take a different entry than any of these two guys? Or a short position from the high of the day or something like that? Because this is something, this is something, I mean, I don't do this, but I mean, can you see this break retest of this key level? So if you just open your position here and you were aiming for this, this was a 1 to 3.5 reward ratio trade. Is that the level on price 300? It's not. It's 298.93 DM. Andy, I also entered Tesla 298.93. Yeah, 9:41 a.m. candle. 9:41. 9:41. Okay, like a full body bullish. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I get it. Okay. Well, that's nice, guys. That's pretty nice. All right. So, okay. So if you all took the same entries, well, we are in agreement of the playbook. So I think we have some learnings from today. I like to see context on the indices to take my positions to anticipate a little bit about the movement on my ticker. So if I'm waiting for some push down on the indices, then a pullback. Well, I'm looking for my tech names uh, for doing something like that, right? Like breaking some key level and then coming back to retest it. So that's kind of how I look for my entry spots. And the other thing is the order blocks. If you still have questions about order blocks, please tag me on Discord and I will share with you the last videos that we have about the topic. And you can start, creating your own style about the order blocks. As I said, I only like to draw key levels. I'm sorry, order blocks on key levels. But I mean, everybody has their own style, so um, so you can start trying different things, right? You should make your own video about order blocks. I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe yeah, because I actually have seen that I use order blocks very different than other people in the community. Michael, I would like your thoughts on a Palantir trade for the break and retest. Okay. Well, this is Microsoft. You want to WhatsApp Microsoft things? Well, let's go first to Palantir, okay? This was Palantir. Michael, break and retest at 943 candle, 943 candle, 943 candle. Yeah, well, this is a nice break, displacement and retest of pre-market low, but I have bad news for you. So your risk should be at the top of these candles, and you should be aiming to low of the day. So this, it's a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade, but this failed. This failed. But, or if you took the 84% rule right here, this actually worked. Can you see why this is an 84% rule, guys? Because it never creates a newer high, or I mean, it still remains the market structure here. This is a lower high, so you will be expecting a lower low here. So here it's actually, can you see? I mean, you are respecting your same entry point. You are not waiting for the retest, but I mean, you have it here. Uh, I wouldn't be waiting for the retest, but I mean, this Palantir play actually gave it to you. But okay, well, just for you to know, I mean, I wouldn't wait for this retest, but I will wait just for the reclaim of this level. So I will enter right here. Uh, so 943 SPY and QQQ were inside of the 5 minute range. Yeah. Well, probably that will be my that will be my opposition here, Michael. Uh, you are retesting here, but exactly what you said. In this is where inside of the 5 minute opening range, QQQ, this 942, you said 943. Okay, QQQ is right in the middle of the range, and SPY was right at the bottom of the range. So until you don't break the bottom of that range, I mean, there's no context to say, okay, well, this is going lower. And that's actually what happened, right? Like later on the day, what is this? What is this thing doing? Okay, later on the day for this second entry, what was happening here? Okay, well, here it's interesting, right? Because you are breaking the previous day close price, and then on this retest here, you are actually retesting the same point here on QQQ. So now you can expect this push down. So again, I don't like this entry too much on context, but I understand what you did. I mean, this break, this placement and retest of this. Let's look at this. This order block here. This is an order block here. It's a pre-market low here. It's the below the 1 minute opening range here. I mean, yes, I understand here, but the context is not helping you. All right. So that will be my opinion here. But here on the 84% rule, because the market structure is intact here, you are having a lower high. So you will be expecting here what? A lower low. So here on the reclaim of the same entry point that you had for the previous trade here, aiming to low of the day again, well, you got it here. It was a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade. All right. Okay, guys. So now I'm done for the day. So yeah, we already took 1 hour and 15 minutes from your time. Thank you very much for all of you that come here to close strong on the week. I hope that you are getting value out of these videos because I'm trying to make them with my full open mind about not just showing you how I do it with my skills, with my style, with my personality, but also I'm looking for these kind of traits like the ones that you are actually looking for. So Thank you very much for joining. Remember, like and subscribe. Like for the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any other ticker that you want to take a look, please send it to me before the session so I can prepare the charts for you. Remember, tomorrow we have the weekly recap with Jack. Uh, and what else? I think that's it. So see you on Monday. Peace. Bye bye.